Hello everyone, Luke here again. Next video for Legacy, the Duels Link Evolution deck profile for the challenge deck I just used, which is this Genex Monarch deck. Just a fun little deck to play, like most of my decks usually are. But anyway, start off with Genex Controller. It's just a level 3 tuner with 1412. I'll go to the one below it to begin with. So this is Genex Undine. When this card is normal summon, you can send one water monster from your deck to your graveyard, add a Genex controller from your deck to your hand. So the water monsters I've got that Treeborn Frog, or you send in another Genex Undine. Battle Fader, when an opponent's monster declares a direct attack, you can special summon this card from your hand and then end the battle phase, and if it's special summoned this way, when it leaves the field you banish it. Caius, 3 of them. So if this card is tribute summoned, target one card on the field, banish that target, and if you do, inflict 1000 damage to your opponent. If it's a dark monster, you can banish Caius itself and inflict 1000 if you want to. I've done that plenty of times to win games. Sure many people have. Gauze is now when you take damage from a card in your opponent's possession, you can special summon this card to your hand. You must control no cards. Activate and resolve this effect. If special summon this way, activate the appropriate effect based on the type of damage. If it's battle damage, you special summon Gauze, then you special summon a token. Its attack and defense is equal to the damage you took. Effect damage, you inflict the same damage to your opponent. Light and Darkness Dragon, one of them cannot be special summoned when there's face-up cards on the field. It's also a dark. Once per chain during either player's turn, when a spell, trap, or monster effect is activated, this card loses exactly 500 attack and defense, and that card is negated. When this card is destroyed, sent to the graveyard, target one monster in your graveyard, destroy a card you control, and special summon that monster, if possible. So you get 4 negates with this guy, possibly 4 negates, because his defense will go to 400 after 4 negates. It can't go, you can't use it again. 3 Riser. If this card is tribute summoned, target a card on the field, place that target on top of the deck. You saw me summon this guy over and over again. He can make your opponent dead draw, which is pretty good. He used to be limited for a long time back in the day, when like Perfect Circle was a thing, and then yeah, this card got limited and whatnot, etc. 3 Tragodia, another card that can be special summoned if you take battle damage, but you can control cards. It's just any time you take battle damage, you can special summon him from your hand, and 600 attack and defense for each card in your hand. Now he has a couple of different effects. You can send a card from your hand to the graveyard, monster card that has a level equal to a monster on the field, gain control of that monster, or you can target a card in your is it your graveyard? One card in your graveyard. This card's level becomes the same as that until the end of this turn. So yeah, he's like brain control, except that monster stays with you, or he can change his own level. A Treeborn Frog, once per turn during your standby phase. If this card is in your graveyard and you do not control Treeborn Frog, you can special summon this card. You must control no spell or trap cards to activate and resolve this effect. Yeah, so if you don't really run many back row cards in this deck, so he usually comes out quite a lot and helps you with your tribute summons. A couple of Allure of Darkness. I'm running a lot of dark monsters, so that helps getting rid of something you don't need and drawing cards. Creature Swap as well, because maybe you just have like a Battle Fader or Genex Controller or the Undine on the field and take something that your opponent has that could be useful. Darkhold to destroy monsters on the field. 3 Enemy Controller, so has quite a number of effects. Target a face-up monster on your opponent controls, change that target's battle position, or tribute one monster, then target one face-up monster you control. Take control of that target until the end phase. Like you can like tribute like your Treeborn Frog, or maybe like a Scapegoat token or something to take control of something your opponent has. Bunch of different things you can do with this card, so it's not bad. A couple of Pot of Duality just to try and add some consistency. You know, excavate top 3 cards, adds 1 to your hand, and the other 2 go back into the deck. The Scapegoat to special summon 4 sheep tokens. In defense position, cannot be tributed for a tribute summon, but and you cannot summon other monsters in turn you activate this. You can normal set. Use it during the end phase, then start link summoning or whatever. You got the tuner monsters. You can do plenty of things. Enemy controller, creature swap. Monarch Stormforth. So once during this turn, if you attribute a monster for a tribute summon, you contribute 1 monster your opponent controls, even though you do not control it. You can only activate 1 of these per turn. During the turn you activate this card, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck. That's pretty good anyway. Attributing 1 of your opponent's monsters to summon a Monarch, or if you got a monster and your opponent's got a monster, you can get one of this guy out or your lad out by attributing 1 of theirs, 1 of yours. Twin Twisters just to remove the back row, and just a couple of Solemn Strike as well. Back in the day, these used to be a couple of effect veilers when I played it. Something similar, but with links deals much better back then, because we had like deals Master or 3, Formula Synchron, etc. You could just spam Synchro Summoning, etc. over and over again. Different today. So I've gone with the Solemn Strike instead of the Veilers. Okay, let's go to the extra deck anyway, all the way over here. The Armory Arm, which can attach to a monster, give it 1,000. If it destroys that monster and sends it to the graveyard, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the attack of the monster. That's not bad. Easy to get level 4s out in this deck. Bryonic to discard cards and return cards on the field back to their opponent's hand or your own. Now, Gigantic Castle, level 9, because you got the Genex controller and you got heaps of level 6s. Leo for like you can use Gauze or its token plus the Genex controller for the level 10. Another level 6 here, the White Aura Dolphin. It's a tuner plus non-tuner monster. You can target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. Its attack becomes half its original attack until the end of this turn. If this card you control is destroyed by opponent's card effect, by battle or card effect, and sent to your graveyard, you can banish 1 other water monster in your graveyard, special summon this card, and if you do, it's treated as a tuner. It's not a bad floater, etc. from the graveyard. Probably should have really put a level 5 in here as well. I found out during the duel, could have taken something out. Got a level 5 in. One Constellar told me M7. So he can return cards on the field or in the graveyards to their opponent's hand. Pretty good monster. Because I run a lot of level 6s, I just put 1 of these guys in here. Now it's the Link monsters. So Alistair, the Invoker of Madness. You don't need to worry about any of these other effects for this deck. This guy is just a Link 2 with a couple of nice arrows there and 1800 attack. That was the only purpose he served. Decode Talker, just a Link 3 in there. Selene Farincus, Link 2 with 1200. It's just any 2 monsters. So like just anything, and obviously it only has 12 though, which is why I put 1 of these in. Slightly different summoning conditions, but the extra 800, the extra 600 attack can help. A couple of Link Karibos, since plenty of level 1s in this deck. Treeborn Frog, Scapegoat tokens. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can tribute this card, change that opponent's monster attack to 0 until the end of this turn. If this card is in your graveyard, you can tribute 1 level 1 monster, special summon this card. You can only use this effective Link Karibo once per turn. Pentastag, just 2 effect monsters. Link monster attacks defense position monster, inflict piercing damage to your opponent. Got the Power Code Talker, to negate monster effects, plus it can double its own attack. The Sayuja Skull-Dread. I went for Sayuja. Normally I have Boral Sword in here, but I've gone for Sayuja. It's a bit easier to summon with this deck than Boral Sword. I was like doing some duels after this one, and I could get it with the 3. Wasn't really getting the 4 monsters, but 3 was still pretty good anyway. I just special summoning Monarchs or Gauze from the hand is still pretty good, and then they gain the bonus attack. Also got the Underclock Taker, 2 effect monsters. once per turn, you can target one face-up monster this card points to, and one face-up monster your opponent controls. The opponent's target loses attack equal to the attack target this monster points to. Yeah. So you can really make a monster have basically almost no attack if you have like a Monarch or Gauze in the field. Using this guy's effect, it's not bad at all. So yeah, look, so many Cybursts in this deck. Anyway, this is just yeah, another fun deck I used. There's plenty of decks like these which are much better in Master Rule 3 than 4, but I just like playing a lot of fun stuff. So anyway, and till next time, thank you all for watching and see you again soon.